Dr. Pepper come in a bottle. His wife is dead.
Ah.
Why does Helen Keller hate porcupines? They're painful to look at. Why can't orphans play basketball? They don't know where home is. Or baseball, sorry.
Oh, hi there. Happy Thursday. It's September 12th, 2019, and I'm Eric. Talking at you as always from beautiful downtown Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, where I probably get along really well with Al Qaeda during football season because I cheer for the Jets every September too. I blew that.
Yeah, kind of fucked it. It's so funny though.
That was terrible. Not good at all. Hey, do you know where the fastest readers in the world are?
What?
In the World Trade Center. They go through like 110 stories in a minute. That's just some humor to commemorate yesterday. A day where a lot of job opportunities opened up in the New York Fire Department. That's kind of a good thing.
Around 3,000 of them.
How's it going in Ontario, Gord?
It's nice and kind of chilly tonight. It's like 12 degrees out. It's fucking beautiful.
That's my favorite.
I'm thoroughly enjoying those. It's kind of warm during the day, but nice and chilly at night. It's nice on that sense.
Very cool.
It's been an alright day, so yeah.
It was very Vancouverish today. It was just a fucking monsoon all day.
Oh, really? That's
Just
a bullshit rain, eh?
torrential downpour. But we got lucky this summer. I can't really complain.
Yeah, it's true. Vancouver, so fuck you.
Yeah, exactly, right. This is as bad as it's going to get. Actually, we're supposed to get snow this year, apparently. Yeah, we are supposed to get snow this year for the first time in 3 years.
What's that?
We're supposed to get snow this year for the first time. Yeah, in first time in 3 years, anyway.
Oh, I still remember when North Vancouver got fucking snow for it stayed cold enough that the snow that hit lasted for 2 weeks and people didn't know what the fuck to do with themselves.
Yeah, that was the year that when they handed out the road salt.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Hey, Eric, guess what?
What?
I have a bad joke for you.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I was digging in our garden when I found a chest of gold coins. I was about to run straight home and tell my wife about it, but then I remembered why I was digging in our garden.
That's pretty awesome.
I have to admit, these are dark humor jokes, and I have to admit, I was actually expecting some a little darker than this, but there's still some pretty funny jokes.
Hey, what was the last thing that went through the minds of the people on the 91st floor of the first tower?
What's that?
The 90th floor.
That's a good play on that one. What's the last thing a fly sees before it hits your windshield? His asshole.
Exactly.
My grandfather says I'm too reliant on technology. I called him a hypocrite and unplugged his life support.
That's awesome. Welcome to the show, everybody. We're gonna skip the political thing a little bit tonight because I know we're gonna get into it huge from now on. For the next 40 days or so, that's all we're going to talk about. So I figured tonight I'll kind of steer clear of it because there's a couple of funny stories around the world and just some things I find interesting going on in Canada that I thought we could talk about. And I've got another Eric and Gord for us tonight.
There you go.
So welcome, everybody. Thanks for listening. You can reach us with your comments and questions at fuckericandgord.com. Now up and running again, finally. Sorry for the delay on that. But, yeah, just as it sounds, fuckerickandgord.com.
Back up and running.
Right. So, Numbers are looking great. Thank you guys so much. I was just on Anchor right before we went on the air, and I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. And the numbers you are, it's really fantastic. And now the sound quality we've got going on, because I'm actually doing this in a place where I'm supposed to do it. It's going to be amazing.
That is just spectacular.
So, on behalf of the Champion Tree Entertainment Company, I'd like to say hi to yet another Eric and Gord. Tonight we're talking about Eric Thorsteinsson and Gord Montgomery, both in Kelowna, British Columbia, possibly my home base coming up soon.
Oh.
Eric
What do they do?
Eric is a realtor, and he's the general manager of the Tower Ridge Golf Course. Gord Montgomery is a journalist and a writer for Inside Golf magazine. And he's
very
actually
nice.
Toronto-based, but spends a lot of time in Kelowna. And Tower Ridge is a PGA golf course. It's on the tour. It's voted one of the 100 best golf courses in the world every year. And
Really?
I have no idea where it is or what it is. I've never even heard of it. It's been there since 1996, I think they said. Never heard of it.
Interesting. Well, not that you're a giant fucking golfer, so that makes sense.
No, I meant to get a hold of my mom and her husband because they're big time golfers in Kelowna, and I wanted to get their opinion of it, but they don't speak to me. So.
Very interesting.
But yeah, there's our new Eric and Gord. PGA, both have their PGA Tour card. They don't play professionally, but they could if they wanted to. And that's what you do in Kelowna, man. You just golf. Everybody just golfs.
That was one of the weird things I thought about BC is I didn't find a whole lot of golf courses out there.
Oh, they're everywhere. You probably weren't looking for them.
Well, I mean, I was pretty much sequestered to fucking North Vancouver, so it's not like I had all the options out there.
No, and they've got...
You do golf on the side of a fucking mountain? Talk about a roll.
Yeah, no, they've got Ambleside. They've got their pitch and putt there. I think Seymour's got a country club. Yeah, it does. Seymour. That's the only one.
Yeah,
right on the base of
I
Mount
knew
Seymour.
there's a couple, but yeah, I didn't know that. I just didn't. In Ontario, there's like golf courses fucking everywhere.
Yeah, that's right. Well, if you go across the pond, they're everywhere too. Like on this side of the water, you can't miss them. In Kelowna, that's all there is. Kelowna is just a Walmart surrounded by golf courses.
Well, isn't that special for them?
Oh yeah, it's real special. I love that one of the biggest golf courses they've got there is where I used to camp when I was a kid. They just demolished the woods and put a golf course there. But it's my camping spot when I was little. That's funny. Anyway, another Eric and Gord. I'm going to do a compilation episode, I think, where we go back and revisit all these Eric and Gords. I think that's about the 8th or 9th one. And I'm going to try to get some of them on the show with us.
I think that'd be great. That'd be like the ultimate fucking phone call to receive.
Oh, yeah.
This is Eric from Eric and Gord. We want to talk to Eric and Gord.
Yeah, I want to see if they've heard of us. I want to see if any of them have caught wind of the fact that we do this for them. Because if you go on Google Images and put in Eric and Gord, they come up with us.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay. So, yeah, maybe.
There's pictures of them come up with our pictures, and it's kind of neat that I've created this Eric and Gord thing. So if any of the Eric and Gords that have been on any of our episodes are hearing any of this, or Gord Erickson, or Miss Hunt Strain in Florida, get in touch with us. Let us know that you've heard us. Even just a line says, "Hey guys, I heard you." That would be fucking epic.
That would be. I'd be actually a pretty proud moment, I have to admit.
And you can send that email to Eric at ericandgord.com, Gord at ericandgord.com, and if Eric and Gord can't remember that, you guys got problems.
What was the website? I don't know, man. I can't remember my own name. Fuck. I have some international news for us tonight.
Oh, so do I. So let's do that. Do yours first.
Okay. Mine's a nice little quick one. I'm not even going to set this thing up. I'm literally just going to read you this short little article that this is, okay?
Please.
Missing woman mystery solved. Okay?
Gotcha.
A group of tourists spent hours Saturday night looking for a missing woman near Iceland's Cannon, only to find her among the search party.
Oh my God.
The group was traveling through Iceland on a tour bus and stopped near a volcanic canyon. Soon, there was word of a missing passenger. The woman, who had changed clothes, didn't recognize the description of herself and joined in the search. But the search was called off at about 3 a.m. when it became clear that the missing woman was, in fact, accounted for and searching for herself.
That is awesome. Now, where do I begin?
I mean, I don't even know what it's just.
Was she calling out her own name?
That's the thing, because that's the thing I'm assuming, yes.
Wow.
Carol!
And
it's
she
so
didn't
weird
recognize
we share
the
the same
description
name,
of herself.
Carol!
Would you recognize a description of you? I think I might know you were talking about me if you described me.
Well, considering how big could this fucking group really have been?
Right?
Like, what do you got? I'm going to say at maximum, you got, 30 people?
About, yeah, sure.
So if you got 30 people, and you can't pick your own description out?
That's, maybe she's just that, generic. I don't know. I
think this lady needs to step a little closer to the edge of the fucking volcano.
You think? Come on. By 3 a.m. she couldn't figure out she was looking for herself?
I'd just like to know who the person was. Who recognized by the end of it saying, hey, wait a minute. Wait, your name is Carol, right? Yeah? Weren't you wearing a green sweater earlier?
Yeah.
Well, yes, I was. You fucking moron!
All right. How much would that better have been at like the end of whatever they were doing? Because she wasn't going to have a lot of friends for the rest of that trip.
Oh, yeah. Either that or she's the most popular person ever because everybody's going to be like, yeah, Carol's a fucking idiot. You won't believe the story I'm going to write about this bitch when we get home.
Just ridiculous. But that goes hand in hand with my only news story that I really have. You may have heard of it, may have not. 3 men were attempting to smuggle 900 kilograms of drugs into Australia.
Oh.
Crystal meth, cocaine, and ecstasy.
Yeah.
When they realized the police were onto them, they split up and tried to get away. And 2 of them were stopped by a giant seal. They couldn't get back to their boat because it was being blocked by this big fucking seal, and they ended up.
Wow, that's a bag of special. Holy crap!
Like they literally sealed the perimeter.
They just sealed their fate with that fucking one. That's just great.
That is ridiculous. It's hard enough to get drugs in Australia, but when you got the sea life fighting you too, it's.
I'm gonna wonder: is that sea lion now going to be made an official member of like their version of ICE or something? Like, I wonder how that works.
They have to deputize them at least.
At the very least.
Gives me hope for Cop and Bear. I think it could happen one day.
Oh, that's just too fucking good.
It's always been impossible to get drugs into Australia because it's a tiny island, so it's not real hard for the Coast Guard to patrol.
Yeah,
it's always been very difficult. So this just makes it even funnier. Like they actually got there, but they weren't getting away.
That's just too fucking funny.
Watch environmentalists just snatch that up. One more reason to stop clubbing baby seals.
Right?
Because they stop crime.
Clearly, they're great to stop crime. Yeah, exactly.
Not in Canada.
Oh, that's just too good.
Someone should feed that lady to him. That's his reward. He gets to eat the lady who couldn't find herself.
How?
I don't know.
That is just how.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god, that's just great. So yeah, so there we go.
Right on. Good stuff. I like when we're doing feel good stories. We've had such a crappy, not happy week. I wanted to end it on a kind of a happier note. Um, the only story I did want to talk about is I'm sure you've heard about where you are. This Bianca Andreescu, I don't remember how to say her name. She was the first Canadian to ever win the U.S. Open.
Yes, yeah, phenomenal news.
Beating Serena Williams in just an awesome display of tennis. Two things that just make me go, fuck you. No, fuck you. First of all, she apologized for winning, which is so cute.
It's so Canadian.
But Serena Williams, in a press conference, announced that she has never played that badly in her life. That's the worst she's ever played.
Well, yeah, because she lost.
And I just thought, fuck you. Give the woman credit for beating you. She did good. Don't go, oh, that's the worst I've ever played in my life. That's why she won. No, fuck you. She was better than you. That's why she won. No, why would you minimize it like that? That's fucking, you're Serena Williams. Like, who the fuck do you have to impress anymore? Give the woman her credit where credit's due.
Yeah, well, they can't do that because that just makes them look bad. So they can't do that. They got to talk shit about how poorly they did, so that excuses the fact of why they lost.
Yeah, like Serena Williams needs to win anymore. She can't give one to the Canadian chick.
Typical fucking American.
The other thing that really caught my attention was Drake announced on TV that he apologized to her for not reaching out and congratulating her at the time. And
yeah.
it crossed my mind, who the fuck is Drake? When is he like Canada's ambassador? Fuck off. Maybe she didn't want to hear from you. Maybe she doesn't know who you are. What the fuck are you, self-important piece of shit?
Well, ironically, funny that you brought that part of it up because she was in the middle of doing an interview with somebody, and Drake called her cell. And she ended up speaking to him during the interview, which was fun. He's like, "Oh my god!" The guy's like, "What?" She goes, "I'm fucking," because the guy was asking her about this whole Drake thing, and then Drake calls her. She's like, "He's calling me right now. Hang on." She's like, "Hello." Hey, yeah, this is Drake. How you doing? It's called to congratulate. She's like, oh my fucking gosh. Because apparently she's a huge fan of him.
Okay, well that's something almost then, but I don't get why every major thing in Canada we have to see what Drake thinks now. It was the big fucking deal and the Raptors win. Now this woman, like, why do I give a fuck what the kid from Degrassi thinks?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't understand why anybody gives a shit.
I hear he's quite the singer too. I couldn't name a fucking song if you had a gun to my head, but I guess he's popular or whatever. But I don't see why I need his like commendation for shit we do. And if that's like the gold star in Canada, then where the fuck's my phone call, Drake? You're the best podcast in the fucking country.
What I don't get is that Drake is the guy who turned around and didn't want to have his fucking name on the fucking Degrassi credits after the fact.
Yeah, right?
And wanted nothing to do with it. He's literally denying his fucking Canadian fucking heritage, the thing that made him famous to start with, that brought him into the fucking limelight, that started his whole career. And he's trying to deny the whole fucking thing. And yet what? We're supposed to give a flying fuck what he's got to say about somebody?
That's right. And the thing that bugs me about that is he was actually really good on the show. Definitely, if he would appreciate it, he'd be very, very popular. Because he was a great character. But anyway, fuck you, Drake. Like, stay out of it or be on my show. That's the only other option. Like, if you come on Eric and Gord and talk about how great we are, like you do everything else Canadian, then I'll understand what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't know. Even then, I'd be what's called bullshit on him anyways.
Number one podcast in the country. Some people say.
I heard somebody say that one.
I've heard people say we're the number one podcast in Canada, and that would explain why we're so big in the States.
That would explain it perfectly.
So Drake, I'm waiting for my phone call, and any prime ministerial candidate, I'm waiting for my phone call, guys. No one's asked for my endorsement yet, and you know how far it's going to go in this election. and Gord's endorsement. And of course, we will not endorse any of you. Gord might go green. I don't know what his thinking is on that.
I just don't like Drake, so fuck him.
Yeah, no, I don't like Drake either. Fuck him.
Oh,
So yeah, no, Drake, you're gonna be on the show, and you and Gord can have words.
yeah, well, that'll be real fucking fun.
And like I said, prime ministerial candidates, you want to win? You're gonna have to call me and Gord. Obviously, we're not doing the campaign quite in the manner that we hoped we were. So you're going to need some support. I don't know why you're not getting in contact with us. Eric at ericgord.com, Gord at ericgord.com. You want our endorsement to win this thing.
Yeah, but they're not getting in contact with us because they know we're going to call them out on their fucking bullshit.
Well, that's exactly right.
And that's the fucking problem. If you got the couillons to fucking call us in and to discuss not what Trudeau has done wrong, not what Scheer has done wrong, but you talk about what your platform is and what you are going to do.
Yeah. Not probably going to have a lot of luck in that area, although Jagmeet's making some noises. But as far as the rest of them, I haven't heard too much. Now, it's only day one in the campaign. I mean, they've got plenty of time to make announcements, but I think they're going to be pretty weak when they come out. I don't think anyone's going to want to announce anything too big or robust because they're trying to paint Justin as a big waste of money. So they're not going to promise any big wastes of money, you know?
No, what I can say is that, no, Elizabeth May from the Green Party, she has officially launched her campaign, and she actually has a list, an actual list of what she's going to be fighting for. And it's simple, and it's easy to fucking read. And literally, this is what she's fighting for. Universal child care, zero carbon emission by 2050, no student debt, indigenous nations are as equals, expanded abortion access, wealth tax, housing as a human right, mental health strategy, pension protection, no poverty, pharma care by 2020, access to access to trans and two-spirit health care. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Gender and race equality, no more pipelines, and a $15 minimum wage and more.
Okay, I have huge problems with a whole bunch of those.
Yeah, I fully agree. I'm just the pipeline thing. That's just offensive.
No pipelines, that's stupid and a pipe dream.
Yep.
No tuition is absurd. And
well,
really,
no, they didn't say no tuition. They just said no student debt.
No student debt. Well, that's up to the students and the employment community more than it is on us. That's going to be a huge tax burden if they just start forgiving student loans. We still have to pay.
Not only that, but who's going to fund the schools now?
Exactly. Well,
where's the money going to go for the schools to pay for this shit?
Foreign students. They're banking on foreign students because they pay an ass load to study here.
Great. That's just awesome. We're going to fill all of our fucking schools and universities with a bunch of foreign fucking students and fuck people who are born and raised here.
Exactly.
Awesome.
The ones but they won't have any student debt.
Yeah, because they can't get the fucking school.
Exactly. So the no pipelines, that one. What were some of the others there that the no poverty?
I'm still have an issue with the $15 minimum wage. You can't just keep raising the cost of minimum wage without dealing with the actual fucking issue.
Yeah, true, but I do agree with the minimum wage.
Yeah, but what's the point? You raise minimum wage and what happens? The cost goes up on everything else anyways. It's redundant.
Well, that's gasoline. We got to deal with gasoline, and that's why we need the fucking pipeline. You want a $15 minimum wage and you want things to stop costing so fucking much? The price of everything right now is the goddamn gas price. Truckers charge more to truck it to wherever you live. The boats that bring it over here are charging insane fuel costs. It's fuel. Fuel is the fucking problem. So build the goddamn pipeline. get oil back at a reasonable price, get the oil workers back working in the oil patch, and the cost of things will drop back to where they were when the oil patch was doing well. How do you not see this shit? Like, this is fucking grade 8 math. Figure it out.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, look at the years when Alberta was booming. Look at how the rest of the country was doing. And then now look at now when we've stripped Alberta down to next to nothing, and the rest of the country is suffering in tandem. How do you not square that circle in your mind? You're gonna be running the fucking country. You can't leave it all up to me and Gord. Or for fuck's sakes, at least start listening to us.
If you are, you better fucking have us fucking be running the country.
Yeah, you know what? I'll do it from the shadows if I have to, but at least come to us and get the fucking answers. Don't, or listen to the show and steal my ideas. At least then the ideas are still getting done. I'm more than happy for the next prime minister just to listen to the show and steal all my thoughts. That would be great, because as long as they fucking happen. What else was on that list? I liked some of it. Some of it was good.
Yeah, so the funny thing is, as soon as you mentioned that, it fucking just disappeared off my list.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it literally just fucking disappeared.
Just off your list?
Like it's literally. I was staring at it, then my phone fucking flipped, and then that was it. Now it's gone on my wall.
Oh, the list isn't there anymore.
Actually, hang on, I can get it back.
Yeah, try to get it back. I want to go through those point by point. So we did. We settled 3 of them there.
I know who posted it. So hang on, there it is.
Yeah, find it.
Okay, so I got it. Okay, so universal child care.
Yeah, 100% done. Yes,
absolutely. Zero carbon emissions by 2050.
I think even under the green platform that relies on cap and trade, so it's bullshit anyway.
Yeah, so I don't think that one's going to work. No student debt.
No, done.
Indigenous nations as equals.
That depends on indigenous nations' governments reining themselves in, and that's never going to happen when you have hereditary governments.
But not only that, but I mean, I think one of the things that I would like personally to see with this is on all these like the reserves, like all, especially in fucking Ontario, but all over the fucking country. Get them some fucking clean water. You've been promising these fucking people clean fucking water, and you won't deliver it. That's just fucked.
It is. So there's definitely a big disconnect there, especially from Trudeau, who just doesn't seem to talk about it anymore.
Are they this against pipelines that they're willing to fucking not even run water lines?
Well, most of the First Nations are pro-pipeline. So, yeah, that could be part of it.
Oh, you guys want pipelines? Well, you're not getting water lines.
Yeah, pretty much. But then again, like a lot of money has gone to certain First Nations and just dissipated without any help going to their communities, like Attawapiskat, where the chief and her husband both got new Escalades, and the people still didn't have heat or running water in their homes. There's a lot of misuse of funding going that direction too. So,
yeah, but what I don't understand is if I'm okay, if I'm a native and I'm on a reserve and my shit's all fucked up, I got no fucking running water, I got no fucking heat, everything's fucking falling apart, and I turn around and I see my fucking chief driving a brand new fucking Escalade, you can sure as hell bet I'm setting fire to that fucking thing.
Yeah. Well, you could. They'll just buy another one.
But they don't. And why not? Why aren't they standing up against their own fucking representatives?
Because if you lose, you've lost everything in communities like that. Like, these are hereditary chiefs, right? They're not elected. So they're basically like royalty. Yeah,
but I mean, you're talking about. I mean, it's not that big of a fucking group. If every every single person is in the same situation. It's just a matter of just turning over to each individual person, just saying, "Do you like how your house is? No. Well then,
Well then what?
it's us against. It's all of us against these two people.
Sure.
Let's kill them."
Yeah, see, people are generally against murder. That's the problem.
I don't know. Look at their heritage. I don't think so.
Yeah, well,
Just saying.
yeah, we're a country known for overthrowing our shitty governments too, but we're really dropping the ball in that department as well.
No, ain't that
Things
the
have
fucking
changed.
truth.
Um, just ridiculous. But that's a good point about the entire country. That's the whole country's thrown in the towel.
Yeah, true.
And no one's fighting against
But
anything.
I know myself though. I mean, I have clean running water. I've
Yeah.
got fucking heat and hydro.
Well, that's your white privilege.
That's because we pay our fucking bills.
It's because you're white and privileged.
Yeah, because I pay my bills.
Yeah,
By
well,
white privilege.
must be
Fucking
nice
dick.
to be able to just pay your bills. You should be paying my
Right.
bills if you're rich enough to pay your bills.
Exactly. Well, face it, Eric. I kind of do sometimes.
You know what? Why you gotta make this personal? Why do you gotta make this about us? That's not right.
Sorry, I just enjoyed that one. That was fun.
That's not right.
That's
That's something a terrorist would say.
You're fucking right. Yeah, call me a terrorist. I'm fine with that.
I think you might be a pirate.
Clearly. R, matey. I can roll my R's.
Where is the government that's going to stand up against pirates? That's the one I vote for. I'm going to be on this for a while, by the way.
I think that'd be great.
I don't understand why pirates still exist in the world. Why the fuck do we care about Al Qaeda? Stop the fucking pirates. Or anyone who has a boat they want to get rid of, please let me have your boat. Because I would love to be a fucking pirate. That's a job option in the 21st century, and I want it.
And it can pay quite well.
And it gets me one step closer to my floating plastic island.
That's right.
Which
you can take your boat, pirate a bigger boat, and then fucking dock that shit on your plastic island.
on my giant plastic island. See? It all comes together.
That's right.
It's a career opportunity, and I get my country, my own country.
You get everything you could ever want, and
Where?
then you can be as white privileged as you want there.
Oh, there will. I apologize. There will be no white privilege there. We will be. We're all going to be dirt poor. And we're going to be sitting on a fucking gold mine of pop bottles and shit. But we can't turn them in because that's our country.
Exactly. That's my land. That's my land. I ain't getting rid of that. My land.
The one country in the world where littering will be mandatory.
Need to expand.
Exactly. Just your plastic. Like not.
Yeah.
We're not animals.
First thing you do, by the way, open up a McDonald's on your land, but they have to go back to the original styrofoam containers.
Oh, for sure. Any company that wants to operate within the borders of my country has to be willing to turn their back on a lot of environmental protections.
Plastic straws for everybody.
Oh, mandatory. Why isn't there a straw in your drink? Well, I don't use a straw. You do now.
You do now. Do you want to stay a citizen? Straw it up, nigga.
That's there was no environmental protections in this. Quite the opposite, in fact. But the good thing is the place has no environment, so there's nothing to damage.
That's right. Yeah, it's not like, what are you gonna do? Ruin the plastic tree you're gonna make?
Right?
You're gonna make it bigger.
Yeah. It's a self-sustaining economy as long as people are pigs.
Christmas would be very interesting with the lighting because the plastic gets hot and that shit melts. So it'd be very interesting.
It's a constantly evolving landscape. I'll give you that. There'll be some infrastructure issues in the beginning, I'm sure.
Yeah, some minor ones.
But keep in mind, I am dependent quite a bit on North Korea's military assistance with my protection. therefore, like I can probably use their army to help with a lot of that shit.
Oh, they probably jump all over that.
I would think,
Absolutely.
like, just civil
Oh yeah.
projects that need to be done, dams that need to be built, or whatever we need when during Christmas, which will be illegal, by the way. We're not celebrating Christmas, but any sort of like light festival that may melt part of the island, I'm sure Korea will help with that.
Oh yeah.
And they want to fire
Absolutely.
some nukes off the island. That's fine. That's I mean fair trade.
Yeah, we'll give them a corner. That'd be fine.
The thing's the size of it's 3 times the size of France. I can spare a little bit of room for Korea to fucking knock some golf balls into the water.
Oh, absolutely.
And by golf balls, I mean warheads, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Oh man.
The more
Okay,
we
so let's
talk
get back
about
to
it, the
this.
better it sounds.
It's true. I have to admit. Okay, so let's get back to this list.
You're like,
Where are we here? Distance is equals. Expanded abortion access.
100%. I don't know why that's not 100% access everywhere.
Well, I just don't know if I mean like, do we even have like a problem with this? Is this a thing that's difficult to get? It doesn't seem to be so.
It's been
I don't.
more than 20 years since I've really had to look at it in depth. I've never. I know in smaller communities it can be a problem. I know even in Kelowna we had an issue. We had to go to Vancouver for hours. Um,
Yeah, but in smaller communities, it's difficult to get a fucking hospital. So I mean, like so you got to leave town. If
I
you're in a small community, you don't count. You're a tiny little town. Fuck off.
I think, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. But I think what something we do need is more towns like that offering it as a viable option. Um,
Yeah, but I mean, you got to factor in though. I mean, like if they're going to have this, remember, it costs money to get the equipment used, the training, and all that stuff, and then to run the clinic. Do
Sure.
they really have that many abortions in these tiny communities, these tiny towns that
no,
they need this?
I hope we don't. But
No.
maybe the doctors aren't even mentioning it. Maybe it should just like it could be just a matter of more information going out, like more pamphlets in medical clinics or something like that.
Okay, sure. Why not? I'll
Something to
agree
look
with that.
at.
Fuck it, why not?
Maybe it's not necessary, but I think you're right. I never looked at it from that angle. It may not be necessary at all.
Now, this next one, I have something to say about this next one. So the next one is the wealth tax.
Bullshit.
Now, here's the thing. I gotta try to remember what fucking country it is. I can't remember. But basically, in this country, they have their law and their way of dealing with like traffic infractions and tickets. They're actually based on your wealth.
Traffic tickets.
So, yeah. So as
That's
an
fair.
example,
Sure.
so a guy who was worth a shit ton of money got a speeding ticket for doing 45 and a 30, and it cost him $104,000.
Okay. I don't mind that.
Where
That's fine.
if the same person who's only got, $100 in the fucking bank, his ticket's only going to cost him $20.
Sure. For breaking the law, I'm on board. I love it.
Right? I think that's a neat idea.
That's a great idea. I don't think a wealth
Yeah.
tax is fair. I don't think people should be punished for doing well for themselves. I don't agree with that. And this is from
No.
the poorest motherfucker on the planet.
But I also don't think that they should get the biggest tax breaks either, though.
No, they shouldn't. But
So, I mean, I think that's what this is really going to be saying. It's just a matter of, like, no tax breaks.
yeah,
Hey,
but keep in
taxes
mind
and
that
taxes this much on everybody.
keep in mind the richest 1% of this country pays 50% of this country's taxes. They're paying their fair share already.
Well, again, it's all relative.
It's
If
not
you're
relative
worth-
though
if
because there's a
you're
lot of
worth
people
$50
paying
million
fucking nothing, and these people are
Yeah,
paying
but if
half
you're
the
worth
country's
50
taxes.
Think of it this way: if you're worth $50 million, but your taxes, because you're getting tax break in, your taxes only sitting at 4%. Well, here's me paying 13% of my taxes.
Yeah, and here's me paying nothing.
That's a problem. But again, it's based off of why am I paying more when they're paying less?
Right.
They can afford more. They should be able to pay. It should be based off of, again, base it off of the pay grade.
I think, yep, but if you're going to penalize them for being rich, you have to penalize the poor for being poor. You have to. If I'm not paying my fair share, therefore this guy has to pay twice, then I should be going to jail for that. Just as he should for not paying. You know, it's like you can't punish people for doing good. That's not fair.
It's not punish. It's equal amount. Why am I paying? Why do I got it? Like, when I'm working, right, with my paycheck, when I used to work in the labor industry, if I worked my ass off and I put in, like, I remember one time I put in like 100 and something fucking hours in a week.
Oh, that's a
It's
mistake.
stupid amount of fucking hours. I ended up paying. I lost so much money in the paycheck that I paid out more than what I ended up receiving.
Yeah, that'll happen. Every time you get a
That's
big
not right.
raise, that'll happen too. Yeah, I got a huge raise one time. I think it was Rona. It was Rona, I believe. I got a big fat raise, and I ended up making less per check because of the tax increase. And no, that maybe a flat rate would be something to look at. Because I see your point, absolutely. But then if you go, okay, everyone pays 10%, just hypothetically to make the math easy. What about the people who pay nothing? You have to punish them in some way, or someone has to kick in their share.
Well, let's take, again,
So do we divide it evenly and let them totally off the hook?
Well, let's take a look again. Putting it on paper like that, I get your point. But if somebody who has nothing, let's take a look at the conditions first.
Sure.
Do you have your own home?
No. I'm also consuming nothing. Keep that in mind. No resources, no heat, no electricity. It's not mine. I don't take any of that. I live in the woods.
So exactly. So again, why you don't punish somebody because they can't afford something. So no, I mean, but like you said, it's an equal thing. But if you get a job, whatever your fucking worth is worth, when you get a job, you get taxed the same amount as anybody else would get taxed on that job.
Certainly.
You don't get a fucking break on that.
See, that's the what they were trying to do in Ontario with the get rid of welfare. The thing they did in Newfoundland in the 70s, where you no longer get welfare. You work. They figure out the minimum wage, and you work, and whatever your job pays, the government pays the rest. And it's wildly successful.
See, I still have a better solution. My solution is still flawless. There's no flaw to my solution to this.
I'm going to let you say it. I know what you're saying, but I'm going to let you say it.
You want to worry about unemployment, you want to fix unemployment, no problem. Get a job. Work. You have money that comes off your check that pays for unemployment. That's your money. That goes into account. You don't have a job, that is your money. You cannot be denied that money for any reason. That money runs out, you're out. Get a job.
Yeah.
Go work and go build it up again.
I also think all municipal jobs.
Then take fucking 6 months off. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. You'll never get fucking hired again because you're unreliable.
Municipal jobs should be available instead of welfare. City workers shouldn't be $40 an hour workers. City workers should be welfare recipients.
Yeah. And you don't got to pay them $45 a fucking hour for that bullshit either.
No, pay them whatever. But, whatever welfare would work out to, $375 a month. What does that translate to per hour? Pennies.
No, that doesn't. No. So, but yeah, no, I agree. I think there's a lot of those city jobs, like things like that don't require specialized fucking training.
None of them do.
So, yeah, fucking right.
You want your EI runs out, go put up no parking signs. That's your job. I got a friend that's literally his job.
Yeah.
40 bucks an hour. No, I like your idea. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
The
EI
government
system doesn't touch it.
Horribly flawed.
The government does not touch this fucking money. We have no access to this fucking money.
Right.
There's no access to it. It's not our money. I didn't fucking. If I'm a prime minister of the fucking country, the money. That's not my money. You earned it. You work it. It's your money.
Yeah.
Solved.
I like it.
Next issue.
What's the next one?
Housing as a human right.
Yes. Easy.
Easy.
Not good housing. Not expensive housing. the kind of the modular shit that they're handing out here. Um, it makes perfect sense.
So a bachelor apartment where I live, a bachelor apartment, this is a single room dwelling, is $1,300.
Yeah, same here. I actually looked into that
Okay.
today. It's exactly the same for a bachelor on Hastings Street.
There you go. Bachelor apartment, $1,300.
Yeah.
In order for me to be able to afford that, plus hydro, plus internet, and all the basic, the sort of, if you will, the necessities you're going to need for fucking basic fucking human life in today's society, you need to earn or take home. Because remember, you got to figure out transportation to and from work. You got to factor in food, clothing,
Oh yeah.
all these necessities. That cannot be done on a minimum wage job. It's not
No,
possible.
rents have to come down. That's all there is to it. The rich have to
Right.
realize they can't be that rich anymore. You know, it's like the record industry had to learn that lesson. That a lot of industries have taken a huge hit. Now they still make tons of money. They don't make Motley Crue money, but they still make winger money. You know, they're not making Loverboy money. They're still doing okay. And
Yeah.
rich people in all industries have to realize you're not going to be Jimmy Pattison. Jimmy Pattison doesn't exist anymore. You might be one of the dragons, you know, but you're not Jimmy Pattison. You're not who's the other one? Shit, I can't think of his name.
Yeah, no, same. No.
You know the one I'm thinking of though, the
No, I
BC dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, doesn't matter. You're not going to be that guy. There's no more Conrad Black. There's no more
Conrad, no.
Jimmy Pattison. There's no more Bronfmans, Shaws, Rogers. You'll still be rich. You'll still be richer than you ever need to be. Just not that rich anymore. And then everybody wins. It's so stupidly simple. You're still the richest people in the country, and you'll still never suffer a day in your life. But you're not going to have Rockefeller money anymore.
Yeah.
And you don't need it anyway. All you're going to do is die with a whole bunch of money. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Make the rest of your country happy. Be an example in the world. Be the first country with no poverty, zero fucking poverty. And it's not because you kicked everybody out. It's because you did it for Canadians. Make it harder for poor foreigners to get in. Sorry, that sounds harsh, but there's a lot of people who come here and don't make it. And then they're a drain on the economy. We got to put these people in check. You have to have a minimum amount of money before you immigrate.
That was a law in Canada for the longest time. Yeah, I agree.
It's a law in many, many countries. They look at your income and they go, no, you can't immigrate here.
Yeah.
And obviously a refugee situation is different. You don't turn your back on them, but we got to...
But again, now you've just opened, by saying that, you've just opened up the door to everybody claiming refugee status.
No, legit refugees, though. You look at them, you study it. Number one, don't have 50,000 cases to overwhelm the system, so one slip through the system. Limit a couple hundred a year so that it's enough that you can look at each one in depth.
Well, it's a great idea.
But yeah, housing for everybody, not that difficult.
Mental health strategy. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's necessary. The world's changed.
Yeah.
Well,
You've created a whole bunch of people that can't handle fucking any point in life. They need help, so they
Yeah.
learn how to deal with it.
and we're closing down mental health facilities left and right. Every time someone needs money, they close down a mental health facility. They're the first. They're like schools. They're always the first to get fucking chopped in the budget. So if you're gonna do that, like what they did here with Riverview, they just one day let them all go. Well, who did you think was gonna have to deal with that problem eventually?
Yeah.
Like
It's stupid. It's short-sighted.
It was very short-sighted, and now we have to find a strategy to fix that, and that means the mental health strategy involves training at all levels: hospitals, police, security guards, first responders. There needs to be or open facilities again.
Yeah. I mean, the training is great because you just open up the fucking door to a whole lot of new jobs.
Yeah, it definitely. But then again, I disagree with that a lot. I don't think it's police's duty to have to know that shit. I don't know.
Yeah, but they have to because look how fucking stupid people are that call 911.
That's true too, right?
So you don't have a choice. They have to. Cops have to know the difference between
Yes,
a
you're right.
threat
You
and
know
a
what?
guy who's just depressed.
You're right. You're right. I got to change my tune on that one.
Yeah.
I'm less right on that one.
And I'm always correct, so
Indeed.
that's okay. You get used to it.
Oh no, it's fine. I'm not incorrect. I'm just less right.
So the next one, pension protection. Absolutely.
Pension protection. That's tough.
There's nothing tough about it.
I think that means more of a contribution on our basis. We have to all be willing to contribute or get nothing.
We do. It all comes off of our fucking paychecks, but the government takes it from us.
Indeed, they do.
So no. If I'm paying into something, if I am legally obligated, like I have to pay something, then I am legally obligated to get that motherfucking money when I fucking retire.
Sure.
And you have no right to lower that amount when the cost of living goes up.
It comes with, we need to rewrite the system. I've said it a bunch of times. The entire pension system has to be looked at again because it wasn't supposed to be for the lifespans that we're living. It was supposed to be 5 or 10 years and then we'd be dead. When they introduced the Canadian pension plan, nobody lived to 80. No, it was unheard of. So we have to revamp it on that basis where it works out for all of us for a longer period of time. And that's where the difficulty lies. They're basing their math on a system where people died at 65. And now people don't. It's just unheard of. So they have to completely redesign the pension system.
Agreed.
And that's where this fucking bullshit about, well, we can't open the Constitution. Yes, you can. That's what you're supposed to do. That's why it's made to be open. So when it comes to, oh, well, we can't rewrite pension. That's been law forever. Well, yeah, that's the fucking problem. Things change.
You rewrite fucking laws all the fucking time. This is another piece of fucking paper.
Exactly.
Just change it for the better, not for the worse, you fucking moron.
It's dumb. John A. MacDonald set it up that way.
Right. Next one, no poverty.
See?
Not possible.
Not possible and not practical. And now, I'm sorry, you know where I live and how I live. You know I've got kind of a perspective. Some people just want to be this way. You can't force people out of poverty if this is what they choose.
Exactly. But when you have a multi-tier system where you have rich, middle class, lower class, and poverty, when you have that list like that levels, the only way to remove that is everybody gets paid the exact same wage no matter what the job is, and nobody is going to agree to that.
Well, that's communism. Well, you don't pay the same,
Exactly.
but it all balances, and it does well sometimes. China's booming.
It does well for the short term.
We won't agree to it. No one here will agree to it.
Yeah, but China, even then, China doesn't. China's communist, but they don't. Doctors still get paid more. They still have a multi-tier system in the sense of they have an upper, middle, lower class.
Of course they do.
So that's not the true. Russia was the only true communist country for the longest time that had that system in place.
Yeah.
Doctor got paid the same as a taxi driver.
And that's when they, the country excelled. They brought themselves up into the modern age when they were 100 years behind everyone else.
Well, the government excelled. The people didn't.
Oh yeah, that's the problem.
And that's a big difference because again, now you have people that everybody can't afford to do. People that can't afford to travel. They can't afford to do this. Can't afford to that. And what happens when one person and one group gets all the money? Abuse of power.
Well, then you
And
control the media and you convince them they're not getting all the money. And that's the problem. I don't want to punish the rich. I do want the rich to realize that they're not going to be that super rich, like I just said. I won't do it again. But they have to not be that rich. You're still the richest people, and you still live like kings, but you don't have all the excess forever. Like, you're gonna have to kick in a little bit. It'll make the world better for you because you won't have to see filthy poor people anymore. But you gotta kick in a little bit more. And so do they. They gotta take what you give them and go to work every fucking day.
That's right.
We all gotta pitch in. And then we can be the example in the world. If we could actually pull this together, I'm not saying be communist. I'm not saying give away your wealth to make poor people wealthy. Not at all. You do your little bit. We'll bring our end up. You bring yours down. And we look like the best shit in the world. It's not hard.
Yeah.
And then we get to brag. And every Canadian loves to fucking brag.
And we are good at it.
And get our oil patch better than the Saudi oil patch and go, look at our oil patch, you raghead motherfuckers.
Yeah. Stop buying oil from them and start selling oil to them.
Yeah. Tell California to go to hell. We're buying Canadian produce. And we'll have the most thriving produce market. We can tell everyone to fuck off. You don't get to eat our berries.
No.
We're going to sit here.
Stop selling it to people for less than what you're charging your own fucking people for.
Yeah. Bring lumber
That's
back.
just dumb.
Bring lumber back. Bring manufacturing back. Let's do it for ourselves and let's be the richest country in the world. And we will get to fucking laugh at everybody forever. It'll be awesome.
All right. Next, pharmacare by 2020. Can't happen.
You know what? We
did
the
happen.
prescription thing. It's easy. It's easy. Like you said.
Yeah.
They're making ridiculous margins on these things, and they shouldn't.
Yeah. No.
No.
Margin on pharmaceuticals needs to be capped. And
Yes.
not capped at fucking 500,000%.
No.
You cap it at fucking, a much more reasonable fucking number.
Yeah. Now a number, they can still be profitable. These companies do a lot of research, and they do good for people. They deserve to make a profit. Not a 500 million bazillion profit. You can go back and listen to Gord's episode all about this. It's called I Want a New Drug. Gord brought this issue to us maybe 6 months ago, maybe a little longer, and made really good points about it. That the pharmaceutical industry is just corrupt as fuck. They're making pills should be like $1 when they're $20, $30. It's absurd.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
And this is something Gord's championed on the show for a long time, and I really appreciate it for it because I didn't know until he brought it up. So easy peasy, that one's done.
Okay. Access to trans and two-spirit healthcare.
Okay, I don't think that.
What is two-spirit healthcare?
I would imagine that's it's this one of these gender things. You're two-spirited. You're one thing, but your heart is another. I don't know. I don't know what two-spirited is. I haven't heard that one.
I am going to look that up.
I think that's what, like these ones we're talking about, where you're a man but you identify as a woman. That would be two-spirited. But when you're in the doctor's office, you still got testicles. The doctor knows what you are.
What is a two-spirited person? No.
I think, access to trans medical, sure. That could be a right. I don't think you can make it mandatory for a doctor. I think doctors should have the right to say no. I won't help. I won't take on trans patients. Not they won't help. That goes against the Hippocratic Oath. But I think they should have the right to say no. In my general practice, I don't treat trans clients. That should be, just like your lawyer who doesn't help millennials. Same thing.
Yeah. I just think, again, I think it's on a matter of, I think it also comes down to verbiage and speciality. there's people that are specialists in that field that know more about it that can help people better
Yeah.
than others. So yes,
Sure.
can you have the right to do it? You can have the right to say no based on, your level of competence.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not.
But to say no because fuck trans, no. I don't agree to that. That's just not right. Why would you just say no to help somebody just because fuck trans?
I don't think anyone should just say no. But this is like your lawyer friend who wouldn't help millennials just because they're millennials.
That was
It sucks, but it's his right. And
hey, there's a fox in front of me. Hey, look at that.
if I have my own doctor's office that I pay for and my own staff that I pay for, I should be allowed to choose the clients that I deal with. I think.
Which makes sense. It makes sense to an extent, but again, if you are in a health field, your job is to help people.
Right.
That's it. That's your job.
Exactly. And
Nothing
hopefully
more
they
than
would
that.
see it that way.
Yeah.
And
Hopefully.
not say no, but I think they should have the right to. I think they should have to have a minimum number of clients. Absolutely. You can't just say no to everyone and say, oh, I'm only going to help this one rich fucker.
Yeah. Now, by the way, just so you know, two-spirit refers to a person who identifies as having both a masculine and a feminine spirit.
Yeah, sure.
And is used by some indigenous people to describe their sexual, gender, and or spiritual identity.
Yeah, no, they threw that in to give it credibility, but sure. If you say the natives do it, then people are like, oh yeah, then it's fucking spiritual.
Yeah.
Whatever, cool, great. Yeah, I agree with that. Yes, sure, good.
Gender and race equality, yes, obviously.
Yes, equality. That means for white people too.
That's right, equality,
And
equal.
Men. White men
Don't
get
fucking
to share
talk down
that.
to me because I'm a white guy. Don't fucking give me that bullshit. Make it simple.
Equal.
Stop being fucking stupid.
Like Chunk when he divides the baby Ruth with Sloth. Equal, even. Remember that scene?
See?
Chunk and Sloth.
No, I don't.
Oh.
I don't remember the
In
scene.
Goonies. When
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay,
and
yeah.
Sloth's eating too much of the chocolate bar, and Chunk takes it out of his hand and go, "No, equal. See." Yeah. Let's start showing that in schools. People get it.
That's it. The next one. This is the one that's just a flat out you're a fucking idiot, which is no more pipelines. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
It's just shooting yourself in the fucking foot. You're dumb. You're very fucking stupid.
If you mean the lines
Stop
where
it.
they hand out crack pipes, I totally agree. Other than that, you're way offline.
Yeah. So yeah, just dumb.
Anywhere they hand out the pipes that you smoke before you come out with those ideas, definitely no more of those.
No, that just makes sense.
Hookah lines? I'm done with hookah lines for sure. If there's any hookah pipelines out there, gone.
I see. I have to admit, I am actually I haven't in a very long time, but I am a fan of hookah. I like my flavored tobacco. That stuff is tasty.
You know, when I was up in Kelowna, there were some guys who had one on the beach, and they were just standing around looking all menacing, like with their hookah, and it was creepy as shit. It was like intimidating.
Ooh, I have a raccoon approaching me.
Maybe he's one of the dump truck drivers.
Oh, he's actually a raccoon. I think he actually comes up to the car. This will be fun.
Is he drunk?
I don't know yet.
Your busy day. Oh, what was the last one? Just because we didn't hear it.
The $15 minimum wage.
Yeah, well, we've talked about that a bunch. I like it. You don't.
I understand the need for it, but the problem is it just creates more fucking problems. So no, you got to deal with the bigger issues. So.
If we deal with the bigger issues, we don't need the bigger minimum wage.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
But even Elizabeth May doesn't want to give away her little piece of heaven.
No.
That's it, kids. That was a nice, simple one. I don't know if it was funny, but it was simple and actually informative. And I quite enjoyed it. So
yeah, I think we covered some good ground on this one.
We absolutely did, and I enjoy doing that once in a while.
Absolutely.
And I like when you start off with a few jokes. We should make that a thing.
I agree.
I like that a lot. All right. What's Friday? Friday's usually a break for you. Is it a break for you tomorrow?
Friday is absolutely a break for me. I am enjoying a day because I have tomorrow off, so I am enjoying the day with my girlfriend,
Love it.
and I'm actually really excited because I'm buying that foam board thing I showed you that
Right.
picture of. I'm getting that. I'm buying a whole bunch of new sharpening stuff for my sharpening system, so I can I can upgrade my system a bit, and I get a whole bunch of new belts and stuff for my system. So I got to be taking those up tomorrow.
Very cool.
I'm getting new shoes because I need fucking shoes. Just so everybody understands. Yeah, I mean I'm working and everything else. I've been walking around for the last year and a bit wearing steel toe shoes
Yeah.
because I can't afford running shoes.
Well, when this episode is edited up, it's going to take a little editing, but it's going to sound fucking amazing. And this is going to be an example of what we can sound like when we do it right. And you helping out on your end will help out on this end. So that's really great.
Yeah.
In the
So I
meantime,
am
kids,
definitely looking to step that up.
I got nothing sarcastic to say. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care of each other.
Um, yeah. Fuck it, whatever. I got nothing.
That's fair.